Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the second house lord in all 12 houses. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So what is the second house lord? Well, first you have to understand what the second house is all about. The second house is known as Dan Bhava in Vedic astrology. It is the house of our wealth. It is all about how we save money, how we deal and manage with our resources. And so the second house also is about what we value. It is about our resources. So this also includes our family and the values that were instilled into us in our early upbringing. Along with this, it is the house of speech because it originally is signifying the mouth in the physical body. So it is all about the words that come out of your mouth, which is tied and connected to your belief systems, what you value. Along with this, because the second house is what brings us a sense of security, what is bringing us a sense of sustenance in our lives, this is not only wealth, but also through the food that we take into our bodies. So this is all about your food and diet is connected to this second house. The second house also is a house of all of your possessions, everything that you own. And so this also is a house of beauty because the second house also is dealing with the face area. Again, this is corresponding with the mouth mostly, but also with part of the face. So similar to the first house of the chart, which is your appearance, how you present yourself, the second house also has a lot to do with cosmetics, with your actual face, and the way that you show up in the world. It's also important to understand when we are looking at the Dan Bhava, the lord of this is actually known as the Danishta, which is all about how we create wealth, how we bring those resources and sustenance into our lives. And so you want to understand what is the lord of your second house. So for those of you who have a Leo rising, the lord of your second house will be Mercury. For those of you with a Cancer rising, the lord of your second house will be the Sun. For those of you with an Aries rising, the lord of your second house will be Venus. For those of you with Scorpio rising, the lord of your second house will be Jupiter. For those of you with Gemini rising, the lord of your second house will be the moon. For those of you with Virgo rising, the lord of your second house will be Venus. For those of you with a Sagittarius rising, the lord of your second house will be Saturn. For those of you with Pisces rising, the lord of your second house will be Mars. For those of you with Taurus rising, the lord of your second house will be Mercury. For those of you with Libra rising, the lord of your second house will be Mars. For those of you with Capricorn rising, the lord of your second house will be Saturn. For those of you with an Aquarius rising, the lord of your second house will be Jupiter. Also, for those of you with Libra rising, you can also look to K2 in your chart. This also will act as a lord of your second house. For those of you with an Aquarius rising, K2 also is acting as the second lord of your house as well. For those of you with Capricorn rising, Rahu will also be a secondary lord of your second house. And for those of you with Leo rising, Rahu also is acting as a second lord of your house as well. So what happens then when the Danishta goes into the first house of your chart? Well, this is going to mean that your money has a lot to do with your individuality. You're taking this into your own hands. So this can indicate that you are someone who is self-made, self-employed, that you are making your own decisions about wealth and you love to be in charge of wealth as well. This can also bleed over into your family life where you like to take the leadership in your family in terms of how you are managing and dealing with wealth. You want to be careful with this though, because this can create conflicts with family members as well if you are being overly controlling about their spending habits, about how wealth is being managed in this area. This also can make you an employer yourself where you provide jobs and opportunities to other people so that they can increase their wealth as well. This is definitely a position that is all about generational wealth, that is about creating wealth for yourself, but also allowing that wealth to flow through your family line. So this becomes very important to you. And sometimes this can make you very frugal with wealth, where you are all about saving, storing, making sure that you are keeping that wealth for the future. However, sometimes you can become too obsessed with saving your wealth to the point where it doesn't circulate, where it doesn't flow and generate more wealth. So this is also something that you want to be aware of. Definitely with the second Lord in the first house, you can have a vision for yourself. You're a visionary when it comes to your wealth creation, when it comes to creating opportunities to generate this wealth in your life. And you have to have a vision. You have to have something that is valuable to you that will push you in this direction. Again, this definitely makes you a very family oriented person, because we have the second Lord. That second house is all about our connection with family, that's gone into the first house of self. So you like to have a big family. You like to have people close to you who you can care for, who you can provide for, and you love to be the head of your family situation. If the second Lord has gone into the second house of your chart, then this is an excellent position, because now the Lord of this house is in its own house. So this definitely can give you a lot of opportunity to save wealth, to generate wealth in your life, and it can give you a great sense of control and stability in your finances. Sometimes with this position, you can have issues with family members, though. There can be conflicts with children, where children are not necessarily utilizing money in the way that you would like them to. This definitely makes you a very traditional person. You're all about your family, and you can become very proud of your family and your upbringing, your background, where you are coming from. And sometimes you can also become a little bit egocentric about your family as well, becoming overly boastful. This is something that you want to be careful of, as this can create conflict with other people. Also, if there are malefics or difficult situations around this second Lord, it can give you a feeling of insecurity, because the second house is all about your sense of security, not just in a monetary sense, but also your inner security, your self-esteem. So with malefics here, this can definitely give a huge feeling of insecurity around your wealth. Sometimes you can feel that if you don't have enough wealth, that this is a loss of your sense of self-esteem. So this can definitely affect you at a deeper level. You can become overly cautious, where you are all about your bank account and wanting to fight to protect your wealth, wanting to make sure that you are not losing your wealth. This is all tied to your sense of confidence and self-esteem. If the second Lord has gone into the third house, this is a very powerful position, because this gives you a lot of skills and talents. The third house is all about how we apply our talents to the world, how we put ourselves out there. And it's very much connected with communication, with social media, with entrepreneurship, all of these outlets where you are putting your talents and skills to use. So you can be a very skillful person, and this can help you in your ability to generate wealth. You can be very talented in writing and creative factors and presentation skills, lecturing, all sorts of communication, technology. All of this can be seen. Advertising, marketing, sales. You can be skilled in all of these areas. Sometimes also, because the third house is a house of movement, of shifting, you could also generate wealth while traveling, so you could be in some sort of travel-related business as well. Also, because the second house is all about your values, your principles, the things that you were brought up with, and this third house is about asserting yourself. You want to make your values known to others. You're very strong in your morals, and this can make you very outspoken at times. So you want to be careful about making enemies by coming on too strong. You're definitely someone who stands up for your beliefs, stands up for your opinions, and speaks your truth. If the second Lord has gone into the fourth house, this is also a very favorable position. Specifically, this is a great position for family and home environment. You can bring in a lot of wealth that can support your family. You can have a lot of luxuries, a lot of conveniences, a lot of things that bring you a sense of comfort and stability in your home environment. Sometimes this can also get you involved with careers that have to do with property dealing. You can make money through real estate with this position. This also, though, can make you very skilled with music, with art, with all sorts of skills and talents that you gain. And this can make you very good with money, with saving money, with knowing how to invest money very well with this position as well. Definitely, this is a very attractive position for this second house lord to go. You can attract a lot of wealth to you, and this can be a situation where when you put your intentions out into the universe and pursue your dreams, you're able to easily attract whatever it is that you want into your life. So this is a bit of a wish fulfillment position for the second lord. If the second lord has gone into the fifth house, then this also can make you very good with wealth. Specifically, the fifth house is about anything that is creative or involved with speculative activities. So you can definitely earn through speculation. If this second lord is in a positive position, then this can be excellent for speculative business, for gambling, for all sorts of situations where you are increasing your wealth through luck factors. But if this is a malefic placement of this second lord, then you want to be careful because this can create a lot of losses in speculation as well. So you want to pay attention to the condition of that second lord. Definitely, because this is the house of creativity, you can come up with all sorts of creative and ingenious ways to bring in money. You can do things that are very much out of the box using your creative talents and skills in this area. The fifth house also is about children and it's about education. So you can make an excellent teacher with this position as well. You could do anything that is involved with children, with learning, with teaching, using your knowledge to your advantage, even education itself. Getting that education and getting that degree can definitely increase your wealth in this area. You can make an excellent counselor, mentor, teacher, coach with this position. If the second lord has gone into the sixth house, this is a bit of a difficult position because the sixth house is a house of conflicts, of challenges, of everyday concerns that we have to deal with. So definitely, in order to make wealth work for you in your life, you have to put in a lot of effort. Sometimes you have to fight to bring in wealth and resources into your life. And this can also bleed over into the type of work that you do. It could be a very competitive field. It can be a field that requires a lot of effort, a lot of strength, a lot of willpower. It could be an area that is very challenging. Definitely with this position, this is a house of health and healing. So you could be involved with the medical field. You could be involved with counseling, consulting, with psychology, with anything where you are helping others. This is a house of service. So definitely you can work in these areas. With second lord in the sixth house, you can also increase your wealth by overcoming enemies and obstacles. So there is some kind of a luck factor, especially if this is a positively placed second lord, where you're able to come out of these difficult situations. It is a challenge in this position, but you learn how to embrace those challenges and to make it work for you wealth-wise. If the second lord has gone into the seventh house of the chart, then this is an excellent position for business. You work really well with others, with business partners on a team. Definitely, this becomes a very social position. So you like to make wealth when you are connected with other people. This can definitely be a great position for cooperation, for teamwork. You can work really well with the public, especially if this is a benefic situation with this second lord, then you have a very charming way of connecting with others. Definitely this can get you involved with any kind of work where you are dealing with others. Anything where you are counseling, consulting, all of this can be seen with this position. And definitely this can impact relationships though. So you want to be careful about what types of business partners or people that you're getting involved with in the type of business that you're doing. You want to really vet everyone and to make sure that there are no hidden agendas, that everyone is on the same page. This becomes very important. Sometimes this position can negatively affect personal relationships as well. You can find a lot of disappointment, dissatisfaction around relationships. So same thing, you want to vet out all of your relationships. Make sure that you're on the same page with the people who you are getting involved with. If the second Lord has gone into the 8th house of the chart, then this can be really good for your wealth creation. However, you want to be careful because the 8th house is a secretive house. So you want to avoid anything that is underhanded, anything that is illegal. You definitely want to avoid these situations. The 8th house is about dealing with taxes, so you want to be careful in this area for sure. With the second Lord going into the 8th house, you can gain through real estate, through property, through all sorts of situations and speculation. But again, you want to see what is the condition of this second Lord, as you can run into losses sometimes also. Definitely with the second Lord in the 8th house, no matter what condition it's in, there will be a lot of ups and downs in your wealth creation because the 8th house is a house of transformation. So you can see moments where you have great increase in your wealth and other moments where there's decrease. All of these sudden changes and shifts can take place in this area, and eventually you learn how to work with this. Sometimes you can also get support through others. This is definitely a house of inheritance. This is a house of other people's resources. So you can get support, you can get help through your family sometimes with this position. Again, you want to see what is the condition of this second house Lord. If the second Lord has gone into the 9th house, then this is an excellent position for you. The 9th house is a house of good fortune. It is a house of religion, of philosophy. So this is connecting you with higher principles. So there's a divine protection over your wealth with this position for sure. However, sometimes this can be a difficult position because you like to hold on to your resources. You like to save your resources for the future. This is a future house. So with this position, you want to make sure that you are generating your wealth correctly. And of course, you want to make sure that you're using your wealth in the right way, as this is a very righteous house as well. Definitely, this is a great position for anything in teaching, lecturing, and anything where you are giving knowledge and instruction to others. And definitely, education can help you in your wealth creation as well. This 9th house is all about higher education, all about teachers, mentors, anyone who is giving guidance and support. Sometimes this position can give you support through your father or through your father's line of the family as well. And because this is aspecting onto the 3rd house of the chart, this can also make you a risk taker when it comes to your wealth creation also. You can get involved in all sorts of speculation with this position, but again, you want to see what condition is this second Lord in. If it's in a difficult position, then you want to avoid speculation as you can run into losses. Definitely with this position, your religion, your belief system, your philosophy, whatever that is for you, is going to help you in your wealth creation. When you have this higher belief, this faith, then this is definitely going to help bring a lot of positivity and good karma into your life around your ability to increase resources. You want to avoid holding on to wealth too much and getting into a fear mindset, into a lack mindset. This can definitely create some conflicts in your wealth creation for sure. If the second Lord has gone into the 10th house of the chart, this is an excellent position for getting recognized and noticed. The 10th house is all about how you show up in society, the role that you're playing, the responsibilities you're taking on, and it's definitely about people who are in positions of power, bosses, people who are over you, the government. So you can get favor from people who are in powerful positions, and you can get noticed for your role that you play within society. If you're working in a company, this is definitely great for your reputation. You will get noticed. This can get you promotions. This can get you all sorts of favors where you are climbing up the ladder of success. This definitely makes you a very honorable and noble person as well. And people can trust you, can rely on you, and people notice this in your career environment, which this becomes a huge part of why you're able to achieve success. The second Lord itself, again, is about the mouth. It's about the speech. And so you can also use your speech in your career field because this 10th house has a lot to do with how you're showing up in your career. So definitely this can get you involved in teaching, lecturing, presenting, journalism, media, all sorts of situations where you are using your speech to help you move up the ladder of success. Sometimes this can also give you support through your family as well. There can be inheritance, there can be loans, there can be all sorts of situations. Even just through the guidance and education that you receive through your family, this can help you to move up in your career as well. This becomes very important to you. And it becomes something that you hold on to in your reputation and how you approach your career in general. If this is negatively placed in the chart, then you want to be careful about how you are approaching your career situation. Specifically, though, you want to be careful about the people who you're connecting with, because the people who you're interacting with, if they are of a lower company or bad company, then this can definitely pull down your reputation. This can affect your wealth creation. So you want to be mindful about the people who you're interacting with. Also, because this 10th house is about work, it's about the karma that we perform in life. So you want to make sure that you are on task, that you're being disciplined in your career. Because if you are becoming lazy, if you are trying to take shortcuts and find ways out in your career, then this can definitely create a fall situation where you lose your position and reputation. If the second lord has gone into the 11th house of the chart, this is an excellent position for entrepreneurship, for self-employment, for all sorts of situations where you are generating wealth on your own. It's also a position that tends to give multiple streams of income. This is a big position for increasing your profit on a big scale, because again, the second house is all about how you deal with money, and the 11th house is all about your gains, your incoming gains, how you're attracting through your network circle. And so this can definitely be a huge position for wealth creation. This is definitely a position for investments that can work for you, especially long-term investments, anything where you are putting in long-term efforts to get gains. This can be seen through this position as well. This can definitely give you some support through your connections as well with this position. This is definitely a great position for your reputation, for how you're being seen amongst society. This can definitely get you famous. This can get you recognized. This can move you up if you're working in employment. But once again, this is a great position for self-employment and finding multiple ways to generate wealth. If the second lord has gone into the 12th house of the chart, then this can show that you have to move far away from your home situation in order to increase your wealth. This can take you into foreign lands. This can require a lot of courage, a lot of determination to move in this direction. This definitely can take you on all sorts of adventures where you are finding what works for you and what doesn't work for you. One thing you have to be careful of is that the 12th house is a house of losses. So now the lord of your house of how you're dealing with your finances, your wealth creation has gone into the 12th house of loss. So this means that you are not so much connected with your wealth. You're not so much into checking on your wealth, your finances, making sure that everything is straight. So in this area, you can lose wealth by being careless with your money. Definitely with this position, this makes you very generous, very charitable. You love to give away your money. But again, you want to be careful about how you're managing your money with this position. You can run into a lot of losses. Definitely if you are doing charity work, if you are helping others with your money, then this will bring a lot of money back to you in return. This will create a lot of good karma for you. So this can work out for you very well. Sometimes with this position, you can also find that you want to make money in your own way. Sometimes education doesn't work for you with this position. You can have breaks in your education. You can have difficulties in this area, and you just want to go along your own path with this position. This can also take you into investments, into all sorts of financial situations. You can make an excellent financial manager. But again, you do best when you are managing other people's resources. But when it comes to managing your own wealth, sometimes you can be a little bit careless in this area. So this is something that you definitely want to pay attention to. Definitely with this position, you can get involved in all sorts of spiritual causes, all sorts of noble causes, helping others, helping those in need. This can definitely come into your pursuits for sure. This is also a position where you can have a huge need for freedom, and that you are definitely good at changing situations and making them work for you, starting all over again, rebuilding, reconstructing in your life. This can be something that becomes a theme for you.